All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up world campaign setting thing that I created, and the people below me are all wonderful, amazing people that haven't quite figured out that they can say no and don't have to deal with me anymore. Um, and until they do, I will keep, using them for my own amusement. That being said, sorry, I just realized a bunch of people were like not centered, and so I'm fixing things. Um, let's do that and that, and we can do that. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I have the wrong names in places too. Okay.
I'm so weak.
Do that. Do that. All right. So, uh, quick warning for anyone viewing. Um, my internet is on the fritz. It is very very possible we will lose connection and all these other things. I am recording this locally, so if we lose and I can't come back or anything like that, I will have this uploaded to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/trainerjody. So you can watch the entire thing there in its completion. I'm hoping that we won't have any issues, but yeah, our internet our internet has been very nasty today, including in the middle of a boss fight in Elden Ring. I lost connection and it just kicked me out. Like the boss had like that much health left, and I'm like, yeah, sending you back to the title screen. No, giant magma lizard thing with a sword, he breathe lava. Just hit him with my axe.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So yes, I apologize if any of that stuff happens. Like I said, there will be a complete recording of it. I always record locally, just so that when weird things happen. But I've taken as many precautions as I have. Another thing, just because I'm super proud of this, today I've been doing a series on my YouTube channel, again, youtube.com/trainerjody, where I'm talking about how to homebrew different subclasses and things like that in 5th edition. Today's episode, we talk about the fighter, but I have a guest on, a gentleman by the name of Don Diego. He's one of my buddies. I've known him for almost a decade now.
Wow.
And he's super awesome and amazing. And we have probably one of the coolest conversations I have ever had, talking about like homebrewing D&D, and we come up with some really cool stuff. I found out the Arcane Archer is Hawkeye in D&D. Like, I totally never made the connection, and then he brought it up and we looked at the class and it's like, oh yes, this is the Hawkeye class. If you want to play Hawkeye, be the Arcane Archer. There's nothing else you need to do. Just be the Arcane Archer, and be as cool as Hawkeye, which is really hard to do. So anyway, just wanted to plug that really quick. Otherwise, I think we should probably return to Traversing the Veil. After discovering a wrecked ship and exploring parts of it, the party decided discretion is the better part of valor, made off with the small amount of loot they were able to get, and returned to their ship to avoid losing anything unreplaceable, like the lives of their fellow crew. Upon returning, they discovered a few stowaways, which they were able to deal with in as quick a fashion as possible. And they returned to their original plan of going to Abia, the nearest city. Abia is known across the sovereignty as the place where you go when you don't want to be found. controlled by various unethical organizations that may or may not have ties to illegal activities. The group was able to get to the docks there and negotiate a private dock to avoid having to deal with scrutiny from the marine galleon that had attempted to arrest them previously. Now, they're in quite literally the tallest city in the sovereignty. And they need to decide what they're going to do while they're here. So, didn't need that quite that loud. All right, so you guys have all come to Abia. Again, the dock that you guys were led to is in a kind of sequestered place. It is actually a covered dock. So, from the outside, it simply looks like a relatively, large, dilapidated building. But it has connections to rivers of Vale that kind of run throughout this as a city. You guys were able to pay your fees and set out. You discovered that the building itself is kind of down a blind, very small alley with quite a few piles of refuse and boxes and other things, making it remarkably difficult to even tell that the dock is there at all of which are boons for you. And now you, as you kind of push your way past all these things, you come to the, you get your first real look at the city of Evia. And this is totally not the vibe I'm going for with Evia. The first things you guys will notice as you step out onto the street is the street itself that you guys are currently on at the ground level of all the buildings is remarkably dirty. There are kind of piles of refuse in various places. The streets themselves are kind of grimy. But as you look up, you can see walkways and things above you, skywalks and the like, as the buildings go up hundreds and hundreds of feet. The higher up you go physically within the city, the nicer the city becomes. However, the higher up in the city you go, the more people you need to know to be allowed up there. So, what would you all like to do?
Well, so that we all have specific things we were wanting to look for, getting. I know I had some, maybe get some materials for Crexney, in case we need some
Crafting.
possible alternative names we might need to put on the side of the ship.
Do we see any shops or anything? Do we see any just up alleyway?
Where you guys are right now, you can see some food carts kind of lining. This particular place is effectively the middle of nowhere. So there's not a ton here. There's a lot of like homes and things that are nearby, and there's a lot of nondescript doors that have no signs, no indication as to what is behind them. Again, nice for people not knowing where to look for you, But as far as finding shops or anything here, this particular part of the city is not the greatest for that.
Well, this place is certainly charming.
Is this the one that has a lot of farmland
No.
on the outside?
Ebbia itself is a very
Just a city.
Yeah, it's taken up most of the island that it's on is mostly city itself.
Okay.
So food and the things like that are covered either through magical means or through trade. So there's not a ton of growing. The growing section of the sovereignty is in the north.
Okay.
This is a little bit closer to kind of your Mos Eisley, Coruscant kind of place. Very industrialized.
All right. Well, you guys want to explore?
Well, if anyone, go ahead.
You first this time.
I was to say our two main goals is getting what we need and finding work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess let's head this way. See what we got going on.
Okay.
It's really dirty, so watch your step.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
We don't need nothing sticking to us.
Want to clean
Bringing
and
it on the ship.
You want to clean and pristine. The Ebbia is not the place you would go.
Ah.
By the way, have we had a long rest since last session that I was not here for?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
had multiple actually.
It took 3 or 4 days to get here.
Okay, just need to make sure because my stats were not recovered since then.
You steered the ship beautifully.
Aw, thank you kindly.
My pleasure.
So where you guys are specifically, again, you can see a few kind of food carts with questionable quality for food. And the street that you're on is effectively just one. You can go to the left, which you can see probably about a few hundred feet down, kind of opens up into kind of a small little square area with a lot more light. Where you guys are right now, it's actually kind of dingy and dark. Or you can go to the right, which seems to kind of continue along the more kind of dark attributes, goes about 50 feet down and then takes a hard left.
Okay, well, I'm kind of curious on what's going on up there, so I wonder what we got to do to get up there. Do we have anything that we are willing to part with of good quality to exchange or bargain for? Or anyone know any favors they can do?
On the top of my head, I mean, we have some trade goods we could probably sell here, like the silk.
Can we want to go find somebody and see how we get up? Or are you guys happy with staying down here on the bottom?
Well, we know we gotta go up no matter what.
Well, let's go find somebody.
Aye.
So,
All
to
right.
the left or to the right?
Oh,
And left.
which way looks prettier?
Left
That's
definitely
where-
looks prettier. You see, it kind of opens to a place where actual sunlight is getting through.
Yeah.
The right is still kind of dark.
I vote left.
Yeah, let's not go into the shadows and go dodgy just yet.
I need to up my assassin skills first.
So as you guys walk out, you eventually kind of walk into the light, and you can see here is much nicer. As you walk out of that street, as you kind of look back, the street itself is actually kind of hard to pick out that it's even there, even though you guys just walked out of it. It kind of is like a blind corner, and you have to take a really sharp turn to get into it. Once you get out here, this is a little bit closer to cities and things that you've been in before. There's a little bit of traffic, but as you look up, you can see skyways just kind of spidering across the sky, except for the very center of this square, where it is just a straight shot up to the sky itself. You can hear various people on the corner kind of hawking wares. Some of them are hawking food. Some of them are hawking other kind of commodities. And you do see on the opposite side of the square that you guys are on, you do see an elevator that is meant to transport you to higher levels, which they just
Is there somebody
call
by the
tiers.
elevator?
There is. There is
Okay.
a set of 2 guards, and there is effectively what looks like a toll booth.
Okay. And what's around the entryway that we just walked out from so I can find our ship coming back?
There's really nothing. You see the
No
edge
landmark?
of a building, and because it's a blind corner, it just looks from where you guys are standing. It looks like it's not even there. It looks like it's just a dead wall.
Is there like a scratch on the wall or something so we can find where our ship
you
is?
can kind of like put a little thing in your memory of okay, we parked in the goofy
Yeah.
lot.
Perfect. Oh, hey, Mickey and friends.
So yeah, you can probably find it
Okay.
without too
Cool.
much difficulty.
We're in triple F.
Triple F. Understood. All right, guys. Well, I would like to go maybe ask the elevator people how we go up. Any objections?
I have none so far.
Take me to the elevator people.
Okay. So as you go over there, there are two Warforged guards that stand easily 12 feet tall. The tallest Warforged you've ever seen in your life.
Well, hello there, big guys. I got a question. How do I go up from
And
here?
one of them kind of turns and looks at you with the kind of burning eyes that they have.
Eep,
He
eep.
just kind of, with his chin, kind of gestures to the little booth where you can see a much smaller gnome. You assume standing on some sort of a stool or something, since you can see them almost at eye height.
So-
it's very obviously a gnome in there.
I'm kind of gonna take a big side step towards that direction and say, "Hello there, big guy. How do I go up?"
And as you step over, almost without looking, and to the point where he almost seems to not even acknowledge that you've said anything, goes, "Please present your passes in order to be taken to the tier of your desire."
Can you explain what these passes would look like?
And he kind of looks up. "I'm sorry. Who are you?"
I'm me.
Okay.
Anybody?
But perhaps you don't quite understand what it is I'm asking. Who are you connected to? As in, why are you here?
Well, we are looking for some pieces. We're trying to get to know the city, and the good stuff looks up,
I'm
not down.
I'm so very sorry. Are you trying to tell me you're tourists?
No, no.
We're looking
not
for
tourists.
materials. We're looking for work.
Oh, that makes much more. Certainly. Do you have your? Exactly what kind of work are you specifically looking for?
Whatever there's available that we're capable of doing.
Oh, to be quite
this is
honest,
going
we
to be
more
fun.
specialize in transportation, escorting.
Oh, so you have a ship. That's perfectly wonderful. Okay, so just show me your writ from the Teamsters Guild, and we can start from there. Oh, you're one of those. Oh, lovely.
We parked over, came over, we paid our docking fee.
But you've not spoken with the Teamsters Guild or any of the other
This
organizations
is quite.
here?
This is quite the first time we've ever heard of Teamsters before in this context.
We've heard of Teamsters before.
Yeah,
Oh, we have.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
there's-
I'm so out of it right now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, back in Skywell, there were Teamsters.
Teamsters
Oh, God, that's
are the term for people that transport goods.
Okay, I take back what I
Like,
said.
Modern truckers belong to Teamsters unions.
Ah.
No more unions.
Teamsters are have existed, since the Middle Ages, and they're the people that transport goods from one place to another.
Gotcha. I am sorry.
And guilds and things like
Retracted.
that are remarkably common to kind of organize and control who gets what. So,
Have we ever heard of this before? Because I don't know if we've ever actually been to a BIA before ourselves.
Teamsters guilds are a common thing in most large cities. Somebody, because they're because everything has to come through a dock, since there are no land roads between cities. Teamsters guilds are extremely common because there is a limited amount of space for goods to come through. So each city will generally have its own guild, and there is kind of an overarching the Sovereignty. It's called the Sovereignty Teamsters Alliance. Is this kind of overarching, not really group, but kind of similar to generally accepted accounting practices, where it's just these overall rules that everyone has to follow.
Regulations.
Yeah, it's just everybody just kind of accepted that this is how everybody works together and things like that. But it's not like it's law or anything like that.
You could fight it.
So,
Okay.
But piss off the Teamsters and you can get blacklisted and have a very hard time getting goods anywhere. So they go, so you haven't met with...
So I guess we should probably meet with the Teamsters if we want to do some legitimate work, is what he's saying. We do also have some possibility of selling some goods as well.
Oh,
Like
certainly.
fixing.
Then you're writ from the... You probably haven't talked to the Merchants Guild either. Oh,
We literally just got here.
lovely. Well, see,
Frankly, there's no way we could have done that literally coming off the ship here.
the Teamsters Guild are on the tier 3. And in order to book passage to tier 3, you either have to have a writ from the Teamsters Guild or another group that inhabits that tier. Unfortunately for you, you haven't met them. Now, the Merchants Guild, which inhabits tiers 4 through 7, they can also allow you different writs and things like that in order for you to use the elevator and things like that. However, unfortunately, you can't meet with
Can
them.
I see what he's standing on?
Sure. He seems to not be standing on anything. He's just kind of floating in the air.
Dang it. Okay.
Please don't try and pick this pocket too.
Nope. I'm trying
So,
to think of ways I can help him to make him stop talking so that we can give him a favor and then he can just get to the point.
This sounds like this basically, since the BIA is supposed to be this unscrupulous place, it sounds like we're getting the runaround here.
I
It's
know,
kinda
that's
like,
why I was trying to think of something to like
Well, if you
bribe
guys-
him or help him out.
If you'd like to make an insight check,
Yeah.
you can see if you can maybe kind of figure out exactly what he's trying to lead you guys towards.
Okay. Insight.
brand new dice.
15.
11.
Okay.
8.
6.
Okay. Well, for most of you, he is speaking so quickly that getting any sort of a read on him is difficult. Aoi, for you specifically, he seems genuine in what he's saying here. He just seems like one of those people that has to finish his train of thought before he can get to the next thing. So he's literally giving you his entire train of thought at this point. So over the next like 5 to 10 minutes, he goes through all the different organizations and the things like that could give you access to one of the lifts,
Higher level.
but are all on higher levels, so you couldn't. And he finally gets to, so I guess what you could do, there is you could go to the Rabble Rouser. It's well, if you see this road over here, and he points to a very well-traveled and relatively clean-looking, very wide road. And he goes, if you take this road down about 3 or 4... Let's see, if you go that... And he starts naming off roads and things like that. About 16 blocks down this road, you will find a very large circular building. Looks almost like an arena, but it's got a top to it. See, if you go in there, that's called the Rabble Rouser. And what it is it's a tavern. But it's also where various sellswords and things like that go to offer their wares. It is one of the few places that has been agreed upon to not be under anyone's jurisdiction or control. So people without writs, they can go there, get work, and depending on the type of the work that you are given, that might give you access to higher tiers. It might send you out to the city to do things.
Okay. All right.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
A starting point. I like it.
Yes.
A long walk. Let's go.
That's better than nothing. Thank you kindly, sir.
Of course. Now, if you would excuse me, it's gotten a bit of a line while we've been discussing here. Yes,
Oh, dear.
yes, in line. Have your writs ready, and let me know where it is specifically which tier you are planning on going to.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
And you can see various, like some people that are just relatively nicely, and other people that are significantly less nicely looking. All of them give you the same kind of side-eyed look.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
You hear tourists.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe just rolling his eyes, like.
All right, so we're walking down the 16 blocks
Okay.
to this video.
So as you guys are going, you can see the city itself is remarkably lively right now. You can see, again, there's little stalls and little kind of almost like bodega style shops. Every so often, some of them carrying fresh fruits and things like that. None of the quality is remarkably high, but it all looks decent. Other ones will have, you've seen some clothing shops. Every so often, you'll see kids kind of running around. And
Watch it going places.
Okay.
and other things, just like it's a remarkably kind of lively city. Smegwick,
The woo.
why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check with advantage, seeing as you literally just said this.
Oh, great. Thanks, Smegwig.
Yeah, I'm rolling, and with advantage, there'll be a 19. Do you want me to roll? Do you want me rolling for Spitwit as well?
19 is high enough, so no need to have Spitwick roll.
Okay.
As you're going, you can see again kids are kind of playing, and a group of kids. One of them throws a ball that literally just barely misses your head as you just kind of move out of the way.
Can I catch you with
Rude.
mage hand?
Sure. Make me a dex save with disadvantage.
Wait.
Spellcaster, what do you got to do it to?
Because
11.
Yeah, not quite fast enough. It just as you kind of get your mage hand ready, it's like shoom, and you miss it. And as you kind of watch it go past, you feel this small body just kind of collide with you.
But my perception was I was aware, so I'm like, no.
You weren't. That wasn't what you were rolling for.
Oh, come
If you
on.
let me finish the explanation, you'll find out what's actually happened here. So, the ball goes flying past. You feel this body kind of collide with you with a little more force than you would kind of expect in such a small child. And then you feel a tug on your belt. And your
Nope.
hand immediately goes down, and you catch this kid with his hand not only around your belt pouch, but he already has a dagger out ready to cut it loose that you have that you see kind of clink to the floor as you grab him. And his first response is he tries to bolt. Since you already have his hand, I will let you decide if you want to hold on to him, if you want to let him bolt.
I'm gonna just pull him in real close and you need to have a keener eye. You need to pick better targets. Don't just pick the first one that comes along. And my hand crackles with a shocking grasp. I don't touch him. It's like,
And you see his eyes go wide.
boogie, boogie.
Make me an intimidation check.
Oh,
Yeah, we do all the rolls today.
you're gonna hit him all.
Well, you're the one that's, doing stuff, so.
Oh,
I
hey.
think this could be cool.
You scared the crap out of him.
22.
What do you do? Yeah, as you do that, you see him.
Yeah, I'm rolling Walford.
Like you watch his
Scaring a kid.
face go, lose a little bit of color. And as you do that, you actually watch as two teens, look like it, on either sides of the street, stop in their tracks. They were just kind of walking towards you casually, where you wouldn't even have clocked them until you watched both of them instantly stop in their tracks, do an about face, and disappear
Yeah.
into alleys.
Teams.
Using knives is a common misconception. Use scissors next time.
And the kid's like, and he's like doing everything he can to get away from you. Like he's
I let him
fighting
go.
against your grip. And he's like, okay, and he's gone.
Out of
Ah,
here.
Sweet, sweet kid. He'll learn sometime.
Sweet kid.
I remember when I was his age.
As you guys
comment.
keep going, what are passive perceptions for all of you?
What is what? Passive?
Passive? Passive perception
not
is
good.
your perception modifier plus 10 is all it is, and it actually
Perception?
should be on your character sheet somewhere, but it's easy.
Right
to
underneath
show.
it's right underneath your saving throws.
I got 13.
13, okay.
9.
12.
Right under
Nine.
saving throws. I don't know where that's at. Let's see.
Well, the easiest thing, if you can't find it right away, just go to your skills, look for perception, and then add
Yep.
10 to it.
Plus 3, 13.
13. Okay. So, as you guys are walking, Crexney, you were the first person that notices it, but you notice it
Okay.
relatively late. As you guys are walking, you realize that you have a tail. There's a group of 3
Sweet.
people that have been kind of sticking to you, and they're now within about 10 feet of you guys, and they're kind of picking up the pace to get kind of in line with you.
Oh no.
We got friends, guys.
May we help you?
Oh, I was just gonna keep going and keep an eye on him.
Okay. So, Aoi, do you kind of turn around and confront them?
Yeah, like I'm trying to keep pace with everyone, but I do give him like a side eye.
Do you actually speak to them, or do you just kind of like
Oh, if you want to, go ahead.
what how would you like to interact with them? Do you just want to like notice them and kind of let them know that you see them? Do you want to actually speak to them? What would you like to do?
I'll let him know that I see them.
Okay. So as you do it, you notice that there's 3 gentlemen. 2 of them are wearing kind of long, kind of dusters almost, and their arms are hidden inside their dusters to the point where you can't really see if they have anything in their hands. The third one, however, behind them is actually wearing a suit, effectively. It's wearing nice kind of noble guard that's a little bit like the it's meant to kind of mimic like a silk suit, but it's obviously not. It's obviously made of cotton. There's a few holes into the things in it, but it looks like they're attempting to look a little bit more upright than they are. And as you kind of clock them and let them know that they're there, the 2 in the dusters just kind of stop, and the guy behind them kind of just puts a finger up and he says, "Hello there, lovely lady. I think there's been a misunderstanding between all of us. If you'd like, You can join me and my associates in my office, and we can clear all this up really quickly.
I'm inside checking this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You think there's a need to inside check?
19.
19. What exactly
Are you looking?
Yeah, what exactly are you trying to figure out? If anything he said has been a lie? Are you looking more at like his posture? Like what specifically are you looking at?
I'm trying to get a general vibe if this guy has got some ulterior motives. Like, is he actually wanting to have a quick talk with us, or is he going to take us in an alley and shank us?
Can't tell.
You don't get the idea that his intent is to murder you. He does seem to want to speak to you. However, the two gentlemen with him, you don't think have any qualms about hurting and or killing you guys.
Are you bodyguards?
If it is necessary.
Gotcha.
Hey.
And he does not seem like the kind of person that would lose a lot of sleep if some tourists went missing and then their bodies showed up a few days later.
Smegwick will try and do some quick talk. Like, no misunderstanding here. We're simply going to go look for work, we have places to be. Come on,
See,
get on.
that's where the misunderstanding comes from. See, you forgot to pay your taxes. And so that's all I'm here for. I am just you can just call me your friendly little taxman. That's all it is. If you want to come, my office is right over here, and you can see he just points to an alley, just barely off. It's generally easier to have these conversations when there's not as many people around. So if you just want to join me right over here,
Yeah,
would you
'cause
step
that's
to the
normally-
side, tell you how much you owe us, and then you can go on your way. It's perfectly fine. Again, new people, they don't understand how things work. They like it cause problems, things like that. And I understand. I was new at one point. It's not a big deal. So,
Do we
Let's go.
realize, like, if they're trying to, like, swindle us, or if it's they're making a BS on the spot?
I would say, Aoi, because of your background, you personally wouldn't have any knowledge of what is going on here. You're familiar with the idea of taxes and tolls and
Yeah.
other things like that. And what they're saying, you've never heard of taxes or tolls just for walking through an area, but you have no reason to assume this is any sort of a scam or anything like that. Reggie and Smegwick, on the other hand, you're a little bit more familiar with how places like this go, and if somebody takes an interest in you, there's a lot of different names it's called. Sometimes it's taxes, sometimes it's tolls, sometimes it's protection money. This is not a completely uncommon thing in seedier places to ensure that bad things don't happen. Whether or not you want to go with it is entirely up to you, but neither of you are completely taken off guard that somebody would attempt to effectively hit you up for money like this. Does that make sense? Again, Aoi, this is such a different world than you're used to living in that this is something that you personally have just never dealt with. Coming from money and living in very, very nice places, it's not a world you've experienced before is all. So, if you'd be so kind, what you take here is just a few minutes. All right.
I back up towards the others.
Smegwick's interested. Like Smegwick's definitely looked at the group, saying, what do you guys want to do? Because there's prices we could be paying for in regards to one way or another starting a fight versus hearing them out. Smegwick's more along the lines of like, all right.
As you guys are kind of wordlessly discussing things with each other through glances and little looks. He goes, listen, I know you're new here and you think you're really big. This is a very polite conversation I'd like to have with you. All right?
And can
It's
we
not-
have it right here? Can you just let us know what you like to tell us? Because we need to go this direction.
Oh, yes. Like I said, I'm not trying to take you anywhere. We're just going to step to the side here so we'd have a little more privacy, is all.
Well, there's nobody in this walkway, so
Yeah,
private.
there's lots of people.
Oh,
Like, you're on a major street.
oh, gotcha.
Yes, fine. If you prefer to have it out here. And he puts his fingers up and does something that I've never been able to do, which is whistle. Like that.
Yeah.
And you watch as everybody on the street leaves.
Yeah.
And the street clears.
Uh,
Oh, nice. Fancy.
no, that's not. No, this is a bad thing.
So,
So maybe we
so I
kind
was
of like
hoping
easy.
to avoid causing a commotion because, unfortunately, that increases the taxis. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you're doing right now. It's just really going to cause you more trouble than it's worth. Right, love? So,
Yeah.
now
What
that you've
here?
made-
What here makes you think? What here did you see says payday to you?
Not only that, but how could we have racked so much of a so-called debt to you when we literally just got here an hour ago?
Well, you
Reggie,
see,
that's the shakedown.
this is, this city works kind of like, any other society. There's little cogs and little things. It's a well-working machine, right? And when you take part of that machine and you stop it from working, well, it causes other things to stop working.
Did
Like
it
when-
occur to you to let us get our foot in the door and to let get any business intact before you started shaking us down?
Oh, you don't quite understand what this is, do you? Oh, see,
It's a shakedown.
Mm.
Go where you want.
no. See, that boy you talked to before, see, he's one of mine. And you stopped him from doing his job.
Stealing
I
money.
stopped him from picking my purse.
So you stopped him from doing his job. See, that
Uh,
causes me problems because
Mm.
not only are you stopping
So,
me from doing my job, but it also sets a bad precedent.
so what you're telling me is you're not in charge here. You just run little kids.
I'm the one that's in charge here right
Of
now.
little kids. But
If
not
you'd
the
like
city.
He
So
So
got the
I could be
street.
in charge.
He
If
got
you'd
the
like
street
to talk
cleared.
to the person that I talked to,
Is he up?
oh, you wouldn't be talking that high. See, if it goes past me, not only do the fees increase, but so do other costs. If you get my meaning. If we can take care of it right here, you never have to worry about it again. All right, I'll
What do
tell.
you want?
Well, let's start off with how much you got in your coin purse that you just took from one of my boys. Let's
I
start
didn't
with
take
that.
a coin purse from one of your boys. I stopped one of your boys from taking my coin purse.
Semantics. How much money you got in the purse?
Look, I recognize your station and power that you're exerting here.
Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm being nice by asking you how much there is instead of just telling you to give me it all. I'm willing to work with you, but you're starting to piss me off.
Well, we're trying to find work,
I
so
don't
it's not
think
very much.
you know what being pissed off is.
Bagwig.
No. Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. I've seen this before. Let him do his thing.
Well, you're in trouble.
And I take
Go ahead,
one
Smegwig.
and I take one big step away from the goblin.
And me too.
Same.
I'm out of here.
We've had a rough couple of weeks, friend, and I'm trying to show an ounce of restraint. But when someone like you, and I'm stepping closer to him now, and I recognize he's got voice in front of him. I'm not up in his face, but I'm definitely taking a step closer. When
As you
someone
take a
like
step
you
closer,
starts exerting,
what's your armor class?
16.
16. Cool.
I start getting riled, and I'm trying to keep my temper in check. I don't want
You
this to
hear
kick off.
The sound of crossbow bolts firing, and you feel.
Am I
hit you
aware?
in define. What do you mean? Are you aware?
I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy's getting ready to kick off. It's not like I'm not expecting something to happen.
Can
Well,
he defend
so
himself prior?
as far as like action economy is concerned, when you took the step forward towards him, that's when the action was triggered. So your movement triggered the actions.
Can I use a reaction?
After it happens, yes, but it's not something like you. If this were combat, your movement triggered it, so you can't react to something until something has finished happening. Does that make sense? The event has to. You have to have something to react to, and you getting hit will be the first indication to you that you could react to. And I have to roll damage, and I need saves from you first. So.
Oh god.
Fine.
I have to remember damage dice now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've not dealt with crossbows in a very long time without having a stat block in front of me, so I'm going off of my memory, and I'm not.
Is it the same as my crossbow?
Yes, it's a heavy crossbow, so.
So it's 1d6 plus 1.
Oh, no, that's a
Mine.
hand crossbow, sorry.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I don't know why it's just hard for me to look for.
I find it. I'm not going to give you crap. I was like, I do find it interesting
There
that
we
these
go.
guys are clearly hostile, but I wouldn't be able to get a shield off.
Oh, no, you didn't get shot by either two people here. You didn't see where the bolts came from. I mean, they have a long range of 400 feet, so you have
Is that disadvantage?
If they weren't sharpshooters, yeah, that would be. It's strange. Criminal organizations having people that are specifically trained to shoot long distances.
So they're probably not even within my range.
Well, in order to do shield or anything like that, you need to be able to.
See him?
Actually, I'm not sure if shield. I don't think shield. You just have to be hit by an attack for shield. Anyway,
A reaction when you take, which you take when you are hit by an attack or targeted by magic missile spell.
yeah. Well, see, effectively, they're firing from stealth, so.
You can't see him anyway.
Well, and I'll give you the choice. If you'd like to use your shield spell, you can. I'll to tell you, one of them will still hit you because they rolled really high.
Okay. Also use a slot as a reaction.
Okay. So as you do that, and you feel as you hear the sounds of the bolts coming, you just instinctively put your hand up and a shield comes, and you see one bolt gets reflected off, the other one goes directly through the shield and gets you right in the chest, which means I only need one of these. So you take 13 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving
Same.
throw.
13 points. Of course, 6.
6. And you are rendered unconscious.
Whoa.
You're not at 0 hit
That
points.
escalated quickly.
You're just unconscious.
Well, that wasn't nice.
It's, poison works fast when you roll a 6 on your con save. So you watch as Smegwick comes forward, starts moving forward, and he's getting more angry. And you can start seeing, like, you guys have seen Smegwick cast spells, and you can see kind of the magic kind of coalescing around him, and you can see his hands starting to sparkle a little bit. And then you hear the crossbow bolts, and faster than you think should be possible, Smegwick puts up a shield, and you watch one get kind of reflected off, and you see a crossbow bolt just shatter against a wall nearby. And you watch another one just hit him, and he kind of looks down, and he hits the ground.
Buddy.
Medwig.
So,
Well, that was rude.
well, we were doing everything we could.
No.
Keep things civil, and he didn't want to be. Now,
Well,
I'd like to keep this civil, but every single additional action you guys take just keeps racking the bill up, so
How much?
maybe we can start with this again. How much money was in his coin purse? He's
oh,
perfectly
we were
fine. He's
looking
taking a
for
nap.
work.
You can go look at it for me right now. How does that sound?
Yeah,
All
how
right.
much?
All right. Hold on. I'll handle this. Guys, you stay here. How much distance is there between
My feet,
this
like-
guy and where we are? Is he like right up at us, or is there some feet between us?
He was about 10 feet away when Smegwick started walking towards him.
10 feet?
Yes, he's relatively close.
All right. So I'll walk up to Smegwick's body and I'll take out the coin purse. But then while I'm there, and I'm assuming the other two are like right next to me, I want to try and. Is there a check I have to do to like whisper under my breath to them, to like tell them something that so the other guy won't hear?
I'd let you choose between stealth and technically sleight of hand, if either of those is better for you.
Nope, they're both +8 for me.
Okay.
Um,
So if
so-
you want to go either of those, you specifically want to talk to Aoi and Crexney?
Basically, I want to try and convey to them as I'm taking the coin purse from Smegwick's unconscious body, like, back up. Like,
Okay.
take one
So-
giant step.
With the fact that you are under heavy scrutiny right now, I will say it'll be made at disadvantage, but you can choose stealth or sleight of hand.
Well, it doesn't matter, because, again, they're both +8, so I'll go with stealth.
Okay. And this is actually going
Never mind, because I rolled a 1.
Okay. So I don't have to rubber roll. So as you sit there and start trying to kind of convey to them, you hear the familiar sound of a weapon being unsheathed, and you see two short swords pointed at you from the two guards in the dusters.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, they've been there
They
the
never
entire
left.
time.
Been
They've
there.
been there the whole time. Oh,
Yeah, they just they just pulled it out, and they both kind of move a little bit closer, going. Exactly.
I'm gonna bring up my card.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just telling my friends here to just back away and let me handle this. I'm the voice of my friends here. And I slowly just stand up.
Boys. They I don't know why he just changed into an Italian gangster. Listen, guys, this is not as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be, right? My boys are a little bit touchy because your friend tried to
And you
to
took
get
him
a bit
out.
aggressive. All right, but I'm being a nice person that I am. I'm going to tell my boys to step back a little bit, give you some breathing room, and we're going to talk about this like civilized gentlemen. All right?
All right.
That's
Give me
good.
one moment. I slowly stand up.
Smegwick, you can make another
Oh.
con save.
Come on.
You need one
Segment.
more chance, digital dice.
13. 82.
15.
15's enough. So you feel a very, very sharp pain in your shoulder and smell cobblestone in your face as you kind of face planted and drove
Yeah.
the bolt a little bit further in. You are very, very groggy, but you are slowly starting to come out of the stupor from the instant sleep poison. And you recognize being poisoned. Like you have a metallic taste in your mouth. Your head is ringing just a little bit. Your eyes are not focusing the way they're supposed to, so you can see two of everything right now. You think the effects will wear off probably within a couple minutes here.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. This asshole shot me when I took a step forward.
Listen, let's get back to the business at hand. How much money is in the purse?
If you give me a moment, I'm bringing it to you because I think I still have it in my hand. I took it off of Smegwick.
Yeah. He said,
Okay.
let's
fuck?
try this again.
Mm,
How much money is in the purse?
If you'll give me a moment, I'm bringing it to you.
I didn't say bring it to me. Open it up. Count the coins. I don't
How far
think-
away? How far away is this guy from me?
10 feet.
Okay, that's perfect. I look at the coin purse. I look at him. Quickly, kind of look back at my friends. Look back at him, and I cast Thunder Wave at 3rd level.
Oh,
Oh,
Shit.
All right.
oh no.
Okay. That's fine.
there are 2 long-range snipers in this scenario. Just FYI.
No, there are 2 you're
I-
aware of.
Can I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
I see with my skills of building stuff anything else around us, or are they just that hidden I can't do anything?
Make me a perception check with disadvantage.
What does disadvantage mean?
Disadvantage means you roll the d20 twice and you take the lower of the 2 rolls.
With my +3 or without it?
Yes. So if I ask you to make a perception check, you're still going to make it. If I tell you to do it
Okay.
with advantage, you would roll twice and take the higher of the 2 d20s.
12.
12.
One was
Okay.
18, one was 12.
Yep. And is that? Did you add your perception bonus
Yeah.
to that? Okay. So, kind of looking around, trying to figure out, you're not seeing where these people are. Because of just like the various levels and the things like that, there's so many different places they could be hiding that you're just not able to look fast enough. Con save for Thunderwave, correct?
Yes, it is Constitution save of 15 for everyone in a 15-foot radius of me.
I don't believe it's a 15-foot radius. I thought it was a cone.
No. Wave of Thundersource sweeps out of you.
Swear.
Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so the cube has to originate from you, so you have to be on one of the sides. It's not a radial out from you. Does that make sense? This is still a directed thing. It's not a everybody.
Oh, then I'm directing it at him.
Okay. Cool. So that's
At the very least, I want to try to create some breathing room to give us a chance to like run.
okay. What's the DC we're looking for?
15.
15. Well, he makes his save, so he's only going to take half damage. Go ahead and roll your damage,
Um.
and then I.
And it's just him, right? His 2 boys were on the sides. They don't take it.
No, there isn't a way for him to get both.
Yeah, nice roll.
The
Reggie.
dude and the dude and his people. They had basically surrounded you at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he still takes 11 points of thunder damage, but because he made a save, he is not shifted away from me.
Okay. And is that half damage or
Yeah, he
Yeah,
rolled a
that
22.
is, I rolled a 22.
22? Okay. Oh yeah, because it was
Because-
3rd level. I'm like, that's really high for 3d8. It's because it's not 3d8. All right. So as that happens, again, you hear and you hear 4 bolts coming towards you. And I have dropped this so many times because my mouse is in the way.
No.
Can I use Mage Hand to stop one of the 4?
Unfortunately, Mage Hand doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Catching a bolt with Mage Hand would be kind of like catching an arrow with your bare hand. Like
Hey,
if you
you
think
never
you
know.
could catch an arrow.
I could be Mr. Yeah,
Well, there's a really cool magic item called the gloves of I think it's gloves of arrow
Snaring?
catching, arrow snaring, something like that. Gloves of snaring,
Oh,
something like that. That allows you to catch them, and monks actually can do that. Is just because they're cool monks. But artificers don't have that ability.
Does
Fair
Crexy
enough.
have the shield spell?
yes.
She might need it.
So that
I
was
do.
This one. That's nice. What's your armor class? Reggie?
Also 15.
15. Okay. So 1 hit. 17 was the first roll that hit you.
Uh-huh.
Math is hard. 20 something is the second one.
Oh, they're all aimed at him.
Well, he's the one that attacked.
Damn it.
There's no reason. There's no reason for them to attack the rest of you. You haven't done anything. Third one's 22. And the fourth one is 12.
Okay, so all of them but that last one hit.
Okay. So you take... 8, 12, and 15 points of piercing damage, and 3 con saves.
Smegwig, can I ask how many coins are really in the purse? Do we know for real, or is it just a?
Well,
I
I
just-
don't know if you guys have actually opened if you guys have actually opened it. And
There's
counted it.
none, right?
No, I have money. I probably have the least amount of money because one, magic is expensive, and two, everyone else is buying armor and shit.
Yeah. But it's not like our whole bag of coins. Is it just what you bring off the ship? Is that how it works?
I was just gonna say whatever you would have on you for spending money would be how much is in your personal coin purse,
Yeah.
which is what they would have gone for. So it would not be the entirety of
Yeah, that's what I
the
figured.
party's money.
Okay.
So 3 con saves, Reggie.
Oh God.
4,
Nice.
0.
Do you have a
Hey,
negative con?
It's,
Yes.
He does.
Oh, I forgot about that.
His con is his dump stat.
Okay.
Hey, everyone watching! If you're watching live, you could actually contribute and help us out in many
Please
different ways.
help us.
The little chat points down below. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Just
but
watch, and you can send them healing potions. You can cast spells on them. It's pretty cool.
Bro.
You can add enemies to the encounter. Whatever you
First
want to
tax.
do. Anyway, you failed. You only needed to fail 1. Again, you are rendered unconscious. So as 3 bolts. hit you-
have I received any damage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you not hear the numbers I called out? I think it was 8, 12, and 15.
Okay, I thought those were just the hits, not the damage. Well, if they're
Oh,
the
no.
damage, I'm not just asleep. I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you watch him just kind of collapse after doing that, and the 2 guys have now drawn their weapons on all of you. Go ahead and roll for initiative for me.
Everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say that you guys are quote unquote in combat. This is an order thing, so we can kind of decide. I'm not saying you guys can't start fighting. That is entirely up to you.
Hey, D&D Beyond, I'd like to feature where I could throw my dice.
If
Where
you pre-ordered Call of the Netherdeep, you got a new set of dice with it, which is really cool. I really like the Call of the Netherdeep dice. Also, I did a
taking my
review
dice.
of Call of the Netherdeep, and it is an awesome book. So you should probably get it because it's cool. Well, now I'm rolling like I normally do.
Good.
That's slightly better. All right. Oh, I should roll for them too. And that's a nat 1. Okay. Snipers are asleep now.
Good.
So we'll start with Owie. What you got?
8.
You said 8.
Yes, I did. 4 plus 4.
I got 6 plus 4. So we're all on a roll.
Give me 1 second, because I just realized I don't have something open to track this, and I'd like to be able to track it. How did I? There it is. Dear Lord. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Go. Owie. You said 8, Owie?
Yes.
And correct. What, 10 you said? Smegwick?
4.
4? Well, they're not going last. That's impressive. Reggie?
If it matters, my dexterity is a +3.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
oh,
you got
I have to still roll?
I'm plus 1.
For initiative,
He's
yes.
Oh,
Your character's
He's
not
sleeping.
dead. You're unconscious.
He's sleeping.
Oh,
there you go, Reggie,
16.
with the gold dice.
And I will... Because of the poison, I'll even go as far to say you are currently stable. Because
Oh.
the poison renders you unconscious. So I'm not going to make you roll death saves unless you
Should I
take
ju-
damage.
Should I just put myself at 1 hit point?
No, you're still at 0 hit points, but you're stable.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to roll my death saves, but I still just can't do anything.
Yeah, you're still unconscious. You are stable unconscious.
Okay. Well, it's better than nothing.
You're not bleeding out, so you're not currently in danger of.
Well, yeah, I still got the arrows in me. If you pull those out, then I bleed out.
Oh, God.
Definitely.
Can we use like the cure wounds right now, or
Well,
because we're in battle?
let me finish getting initiative
Okay.
finished here. So there. Over there. And then. Not 114. You can't have an initiative that high. So Reggie, you're actually the first one, but you are unconscious. The leader goes, "You're really starting to piss me off now. That's another fee on top of everything." And he goes up. "And you made me bleed.
Made me bleed my own blood.
That's another fee. Now I don't really care how much money is in your pouch or anything like that. I'm just going to start tacking on fees. So for disrupting legitimate business, that's 20 gold. For attempting to attack an official, that's 30 gold. For succeeding in attacking an official, that's 50 gold.
Succeeding. Joke's on you, buddy. We didn't got that much money.
And then for every bolt that we fired, it is 5 gold. So that brings us to a total of 30 gold for that. So, doing some quick math here, 20, 50.
80.
I.e., there's another 50. That's 130 gold, you know, for your fees.
Don't worry, I got it.
And because you disrespected me, I'm tacking on another 15. So 145. You pay it, you can go on your way as soon as your boy wakes up. But understand, we know who you are. You make trouble for us again, the fees go up to just astronomical levels. So who's paying? And that is the end of his turn. Craxney, you are the next person in initiative.
You said initiative. Oh, can I?
It
use
just means
two?
that you're
my
technically
turn.
you're next in order. If
Yeah.
you wanted to do something, you could.
Can
Oh,
I?
Is I'm sorry, I want to ask, is Ogun with you?
Yeah.
I meant to ask earlier as well. So you have
Mhm.
Ogun. So yeah, Ogun just goes directly after you. Did we talked about how Ogun works in the battle?
Yes.
Before? Yeah,
He gets one move after me. Yes, we did.
Okay, cool. So it's your turn. If you would like to attack or anything like that to turn this into actual combat, you can. If there's something else you'd like to do, right now I'm using initiative just as a way to make sure everybody gets their say in some sort of recognized order to make it easier on me. So seeing what's happened, you can see Reggie snoring on the floor. You can see Smegwick slowly picking himself up with a bolt in his chest.
Can I use my cure wounds on Reggie so he doesn't die
He's not dying.
Sure.
yet?
You would you are totally able to use your cure wounds. You would with a very quick glance, you would see that it doesn't seem that Reggie is in any danger of dying right now.
Okay.
But he also is hurt relatively bad. So I will leave the decision up to you.
So,
It is you
I have
can't do
a
it.
not knowing D&D question.
Sure.
If he has 0, he can get him back if he's at 0.
So, the way that hit points work in D&D 5th edition, When you're reduced to 0 hit points, you are rendered unconscious. And every time your turn comes up, you have to make what's called a death saving throw. It is a Constitution saving throw, and your goal is to roll at least a 10. If you roll a 10 or higher, you make your saving throw. If you roll a 9 or lower, you fail. If you get 3 failed death saving throws, your character dies.
Okay, so he doesn't necessarily be saved this second,
Yeah.
but
And if
I
you
too,
get
he should be
three,
saved.
if you get 3 successes, your character is what's called stabilized, where they're not in danger of dying anymore, but they're not conscious either. So he is currently in a situation where he is stabilized. If you are stabilized after an hour, you will regain just naturally 1d4 hit points and eventually wake up.
okay.
However, any character that is at 0 hit points, and if you have 20 hit points and you take 30 points of damage, we don't track negative hit points. You're just at 0. The
0.
only times it matters is if you take a hit that is so big that it brings you to your negative hit point maximum. That instantly kills your character.
Is it more than double?
No,
Your
it's
hit
just
point
your
max?
negative hit point maximum is what you have to. So if your hit point maximum is 50, and you take an attack that you're at full hit points, you take an attack that does 100 damage, your character instantly dies. No
Oh,
death saves,
okay.
no nothing like that. If you're at
Joe-
1 hit point, and you take 51 points of damage, it's the same thing. You would instantly die. Does that make sense?
Yeah, gotcha.
So, in this particular situation, you can tell Reggie is unconscious. He has no hit points, but he is not currently bleeding out or anything.
Okay.
So, if you would like to heal him, as soon as you regain any hit points whatsoever, you are conscious again. So, if you were to use
Okay.
Cure Wounds, he would instantly regain consciousness.
Okay, so he's fine being knocked out for a while. Understood.
So, it's up to you. You can heal him if you want. You don't have to. He's not in danger of dying right now. If he were to take damage, like if someone has come up and stab him or something, then he would have to start making death saves again.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I want to attack.
You can also just decide not to do anything right now as well. Like you can just go, you know what, I don't have anything to add at this particular point. No, weapons are drawn, but no one is actively attacking right now. I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm just not doing anything. Or if you want to prepare for something, you can do what's called readying an action, which is basically you go, okay, for example, if this dude with the sword over here decides to attack one of my friends, I'm going to ready an action to hit him in the face or something like
Yep.
that.
Then
Does that
I'll
make
do
sense?
that. Yep.
Okay.
So I can ready my sword
Yep, you can do that.
just in case something comes. 'cause
And
I'm
when you ready an
fast.
action, you just have to give me a trigger for it. So in this particular case, if someone tries to attack anyone in the party, I'm assuming,
Yes.
okay, then you're gonna attack them with your sword.
Yep. And Ogon, can he attack too, or is he a nothing?
Because you have to use your bonus action, you can't actually tell him to ready an action. He would not be
Gotcha.
able to ready. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So then I'm gonna ready my sword in case anybody else gets attacked, and then I'm
Okay.
just going to stand there in a defensive position and not really do anything else.
Okay. Perfectly fine.
Jody, if I could actually direct your attention to the chat in Roll20 for a
Oh,
moment. I sent
sorry.
you a little something.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do, and then Ogon's just gonna stand by me.
All right. Sure.
Because I am
no,
unconscious right now, so
That's
it kind of works out for me.
Fine. If you need to head out, go for it. It's
Yeah,
perfectly
thank-
fine.
Yeah, sorry. I'll see you all next time.
All right.
It's
Hey,
perfectly
bye.
fine.
Feel better.
Give me
Bye.
2 seconds to switch. You're not Smegwick. You're Crexney. Owie is always in the right place.
We keep getting swapped.
I know, right?
It's weird. Owie is all. It might be just that.
The way we
I-
log in.
Well, yeah, I think it's just that Owie is one of the first people in chat normally.
Yeah.
But yeah, Owie's always in the right spot, and it's Crexney and Smegwick that I always have to move around. All right, so so you guys watch as Crexney just kind of gets ready for this very tense situation. And then it is Owie. You're up next. Again, you can kind of feel the tension. You can tell that Reggie is unconscious but stable.
I take out my coin purse.
Okay.
How much?
And it's 145, love.
You got it.
Okay.
I think Smegwick actually goes. I think he looks at you and doesn't say it out loud because Joshua will say, "How much freaking gold do you have? My God!"
I have 219.
Dang it.
She's been saving. Again, remarkably enough, the stuff that Owie has purchased has not been super expensive. I think she bought some like studded leather,
Yes, I
Last
did.
time, yeah.
which is not expensive. It's remarkably when you don't have a spell book that you have to fill as a spellcaster, and you don't have things that cost spell components that cost a lot. There's not a ton you have to spend money on. So yeah, you so how do you want to give him the money? Do you want to toss the coin purse? Do you want to walk over to him? How do you want to?
Throw it at him.
I'll walk
Just
over
throw it
to
in
him.
his
All of it.
Yeah, I'll go over to him and hand him the coin purse so he can.
And I grip my sword just a little tighter, just in case.
As you move, you see the two guys kind of ready their blades, and you watch him go, nah. He kind of smiles and he holds his hand out.
Was that 145 you said?
Yes.
He goes there. He counts it a couple times. Lovely doing business with you. Now, hopefully, we never have a conversation like this again. Sound good?
Let's hope we don't.
I roll my eyes.
Smegwick just stares at him.
And you see the guys kind of slowly put their short swords away and start walking. And as you walk, you see him stop. And he turns around. And the next time you come through this area, maybe take a different route.
Well noted.
Understand?
Well noted.
All right. Have a lovely time in Ebia. Spins, walks away.
And I'm going to say, I take whatever route I want. Really quietly. He can't hear me.
So you guys can see Reggie is unconscious, breathing, but you can see the bolts seem to have missed any vital organs.
He's just drooling. Kind of like Smegwick was.
As you guys kind of take them out, did you want to cast Cure Wounds on him now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as you sit there and you use your Cure Wounds, go ahead and roll hit points for him. We'll let him know.
8. 8 plus 3 is 11.
Ooh.
Oh, I got it. Wait, it is an 8 dice.
Oh, you're already tapping it. Okay.
No, just put that in chat so that
Yeah.
well, we have a record of it.
Yeah,
so as
same
you do
same
that,
brain.
you see he starts kind of breathing better. You can see after removing the bolts, you can see the holes start to close up, but he doesn't seem to be waking up.
Can I have Ogon take him back to the ship?
Sure, if you'd like. You will have to kind of like strap him to Ogon, but you guys have like rope and stuff. You can do that.
We can all head back to the ship real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you guys are literally like 15 minutes away from your ship right now.
Well, we can't come back down this alleyway.
We'll go a different route.
Yeah, it's a big city. It'll
Okay.
To circumvent this alley, you're looking at a half an hour journey instead of 15 minutes.
Okay. 32 blocks.
So you
Right.
guys,
So I throw him on Ogon just so that we don't have
Yeah.
to lug him. And
so you guys go back. You put him in
his bed. We tuck him in.
His hammock that he has down there, and it's looking like the poison just affected him a little bit more than it did you, Smegwick. So it looks like he's just gonna have to sleep it off.
He has the constitution of a poodle.
-1.
So as you guys
Alright.
head back out, you notice a distinctly different feel of the city now. Like people actively give you a decently wide berth wherever you
You're
could
afraid of
go.
us.
Well,
This
either
one's fierce,
no one's ever been brave and/or stupid enough to stand up to those guys.
right? Smegwig.
You probably aren't the first people that have tried to stand up to them. They just know what happens to other people when they stand up. And,
Yeah.
you know, collateral damage is the thing.
All right, so how do we walk down this new aisle, this new alleyway?
Again, not
Tiptoe.
particularly
Sprint.
difficult for you to get to where you're going. It takes you the better part of an hour avoiding that and avoiding any other areas that you're like, you know what, maybe I don't want to go there. But you eventually get to. It was very well described as looking like an arena. It is a very large building, easily a few hundred feet wide. It goes up about 60 feet to tall, and looks like a large kind of gladiatorial arena with a dome onto the top of it. Think baseball stadium kind of thing.
Before we left the ship after dropping Reggie off, Smegwick would give Owie 145 back.
Don't argue. Take it.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it, kid.
Money's not worth losing you guys.
So going in, what would you guys say? You can see there's a relatively large kind of main entrance, and then there's doors darted all throughout this very large building.
Are there people by the doors?
There's people coming and going. There's no,
But no one's
guards
stationed.
or anything that you can see.
Do the people that come look in and out look suspicious, or they look normal, just like a market?
I mean, they look like adventurers. Some of them
Okay.
look more suspicious than others.
That's
Some
fine.
of them
Okay.
will have their faces covered. Others will just be out. All of them are armed, as most adventurers are.
Mhm.
Like this is not an uncommon sight in most towns. You'll have a place where sellswords and things like that will gather. The fact that there's an arena here is a little odd. This is a unique feature of Evia.
You guys want to go in? You guys want to walk around? Up for some more adventure, guys?
Hopefully it's not as risky as what just happened just now.
And hopefully we can make some money somewhere.
I
All right, we're gonna go through the main door, the big one, or you guys want to go through one of these little doors? Main door?
Stay out the main door if you want.
alright.
Main door it is.
So as you guys head in, one of the first things you notice is walking through the doorway, you feel a faint feeling of kind of magic. And as soon as you walk through, you understand that there is some sort of spell that is keeping the noise inside and not outside, because the volume of everything instantly changes when you get in there. It is loud, it is rowdy. I don't have a loud, rowdy sound effect thing, but let's pretend this is loud and rowdy. You can hear people arguing. You can see every so often there are fights. Looking around, you are in kind of a hallway where you can see in front of you is another set of doors that goes into a further area that actually does have some people, like there's a desk next to it and other things like that. And then you can see there's this very large ring that all around this ring you can see, like there's a bar over here, and there's another place that's selling weapons, and there's another place that just has this very large board with a bunch of notices and things put on it. And as you watch, it looks like this ring goes all the way around kind of the inside of this, and it is just this very long hallway of people. And it stretches in both directions. So where would you guys like to go?
Can anybody kind of overhear some of the conversations about anyone needing something?
The conversations you hear around you is kind of shop talk.
Mm.
You hear people, you hear a few people talking about, uh, dropping names of various member monsters. Like, can you believe werewolves? I didn't even know we had them here. It's like, yeah, I heard somebody's looking to kill a beholder. Who would even sign up for that?
Oh God.
Another guy's just giant rats. Every day it's more giant rats. You'd think we'd killed them all by now, but they keep showing up.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would like to probably just walk, if everyone is up, just to see if we can hear anything that we can do
Sure.
before we start asking questions.
As you look around, you can see probably about every 40 50 feet, there is a notice board that has various jobs effectively on it. Everything from minor kind of pest control all the way up to guard duty and things like that. And kind of conversing with other people there, you kind of get the idea that the notice boards themselves are generally for short-term, low-impact kind of work. It's generally kill this thing, protect this thing, one and done kind of deals. Mm-hmm. There are various kind of booths set up with actual physical people there that can actually get you long-term security work, being hired as personal mercenaries for more long-term jobs and things like that. And then the very large doors that you guys saw when you first entered, that is the actual arena. You can actually sign up to be in tournaments. That there are daily tournaments, there are weekly tournaments, there are monthly tournaments, there are quarterly tournaments, and then there is a annual tournament. And these are basically where the best of the best go to kind of prove their worth, and people looking for groups with very specific sets of skills will generally approach winners of these various tournaments, or sometimes losers, depending on whether or not they care if the people come back alive. So those are generally the most lucrative jobs, but they involve you putting on a display and actually fighting another group of adventurers sometimes. Sometimes it's fighting other monsters. Like it is a gladiatorial style exhibition. And for what you understand, most people don't die.
Okay.
Most people. So,
what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want something easy and fast, or do you want something more long term?
I'll do things I was looking for. We just find any kind of work we want in terms of look, I can understand the draw of the battle ring. We're already a person down and a bit hurt. Depending on how long we have to stay here, we could also just look for courier work, see what they have just available.
Okay.
If we want to be able to sell off any of those, I know we had the silk. Do we have any of those other items?
you wouldn't have them on you.
No, I know we.
But whatever you guys got, I think from the
two
ship,
bolts of silk.
You had the 2 bolts of silk. You had pile of gold, and you got the iron bands of the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which theoretically, if you wanted to try and sell that, you might be able to find. Actually,
well,
to be
that's
perfectly
always,
honest, in Ebbia, this would probably be one of the easier places to find a buyer, especially.
Well, that's
something
always,
like
so I'm
that.
not considering that.
But yeah, that stuff technically would probably be on your ship still, but you could barter with it like you have it here and just go.
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I figured.
we'll deliver it.
But currently, okay, so the only thing in our inventory is the silk. Okay.
Does anybody? in
You
our group
probably
have
wouldn't be walking around with silk.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's on the ship. I just want to because that's the ship's inventory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless there's other, because you guys already got rid of those books.
Yeah.
That worked out so well.
Is there any skill set that anybody else has for work, or is the currying, taking things, the best option for the group?
Well, you all had lives before this. Obviously, Crexney, you were a shipbuilder. Smegwick, you guys know is former military.
Mm.
And have you specifically told them what your specialty was in the military or no?
No.
Okay. So he has mentioned he's former military.
Okay.
Though, so you guys know that. And then Aoi was a student.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
So those are
Gotcha.
specifically a student of martial magic. So
Well, ironically, the people who would know what Smegwick was up to are like one person's unconscious, the other person's not here. So
Here.
and I will mention if you guys entered any of the kind of different tournaments, there is a prize for winning them as well.
I figured.
So the smallest tournaments are single elimination. The daily tournament. Let me try this one more time. The daily tournament is a single elimination 3-round tournament. So a single win gets you into the semis. A second win gets you into the finals, and the finals would win. And the purse for one of those to the tournaments is 200 gold.
For the 3-day one?
For the quote unquote daily tournament where they run these tournaments every single day.
Oh, okay.
That
Can we run it with 3 people, or do we need?
Yeah, you can do it. You can have one person do it.
Smegwick is already down on hit points and spell slots. Just FYI.
Oh.
It's entirely up to you. The ones that happen more rarely, like the weekly tournament, is much more extensive. Has about a 500 gold prize pool. The monthly tournament, which won't be happening for about 2 weeks here, that one gets up to 1,200 gold. And the annual, the quarterly tournament is about 2,000 or 3,000 gold, and the annual is 6,000. But the quarterly is not for another month, and the annual is not for another 3.
Okay. So if you guys don't want to fight, do you want to look on the job board? Because the only way that we're going to get bigger anything is by getting into this arena.
Well, I agree, but we're already a guy down, and he's already kind of like
Well,
poking
again,
at the wound a bit.
if you guys wanted to, there's tournaments every day.
Yeah.
So you can reset, try in the morning.
Yeah, when everyone's healthier.
Okay.
Why don't we check the boards first?
Okay.
Okay.
So as you go over, there are probably 2 or 3 dozen notices on the board that you are checking currently. Is there anything specifically you're looking for?
Mending, fixing for me. Anything I can do, it's easy.
That particular thing would not be advertised here.
Okay.
This is more like the kind of jobs that you're going to see here are kill this thing for me, security work just in general, and on the boards, it's mostly going to be those 2 things: the security work and kill this creature for me.
Well, but what's the kill the creature?
There.
Rats.
Every single board you look at, there is a request to kill rats.
The rats are in the cellar.
Yeah. It pays about 20
Can I-
gold for most of. Like you can see, like every single, like you guys travel to a couple different boards. Every single one has rats. And it's every one of them. It's 20 gold a piece. Each one has a different name signed to it.
Jesus.
So that's there. Make me an investigation check, Smegwick.
I swear to God, I'm giving you one more chance. I'm rolling physical dice.
Mm.
I'm rolling physical dice. 7.
7. Okay. So looking around, you do see some more kind of interesting ones. One of them, there is one or more cloakers that have taken up residence in a storehouse that has been killing the stock boys, and they would want someone to deal with them. There's another one that doesn't say what the creature is. They just say, need people with significant fighting experience. Will pay well.
It just says that. Doesn't say what for.
Yeah. The cloaker one would get you about 60 gold. Is what
My personal experience is it's always more than what the job says it is. But if we wanted to start out, we could try the cloaker. There's probably more to it than just the cloaker. I would be willing to bet.
Yeah.
But
We can always just kill a bunch of rats. 20 times 100 people. We'll be rich.
Mhm.
not so sure we wanted to have the rep be the rat catches.
We can fight. I'm just saying.
Spitwit's like, I could eat.
Ew.
you get an image
Poison.
of a rat on a spit just slowly being rotated over a fire.
He's got the toque seasoning.
Ready to eat.
For some odd reason, there's an apple in its mouth.
Well, I'm definitely down to fight if you guys want to. I know you guys want to wait till tomorrow, so if you want to wait until the morning,
Yeah.
I'm trying to go up, and I don't think rats is gonna do that.
Yeah.
There's a one that's there, and there's probably more to it with the looking for seasoned adventurers, and then that's it. So
Yeah.
there's a good chance that could be for trouble, but
Yeah.
we didn't exactly come here for doilies and tea cozies.
Mhm. Yeah, I have a feeling that's they're not gonna be up to our experience level right now.
Can we check the other boards really quick? See if
Yeah.
there's anything
I
that's
mean,
not killing rats.
To get around the entire arena will take you the better part of like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just, I mean, to go and look at every single board. But like I said, every single one of them has rats. You've seen specific creatures that have been mentioned. You have seen cloakers. You have seen other creatures that I am trying to remember. Here we go. You've seen requests to get rid of carrion crawlers. There have been some displacer beasts that have been causing some trouble.
Beasts plural.
Yes. One of them mentions specifically mentions a creature called a Galeb Dur. And then a kobold infestation is in there. There's one in particular that seems to pay relatively well. It's about 300 gold for this job. And the only thing it says is Altiug.
God damn it, Jody. God damn it.
Stuff that you'd find in a city.
That's it. Ultiug in the city?
Yeah, they like rotten shit.
Red.
They like refuse and stuff like that. They love that stuff. They
I
find it super
know.
relaxing.
God dang.
There's also one that's asking for adventurers to kill a Tarask.
Oh, why?
you're not sure the legitimacy of that because it's
Yeah.
offering 4,000 platinum each for it.
First
I'm
you
on
gotta
my
find-
way.
First, you gotta find a
No.
Tarask.
But yeah, for the most part, and then the other one that you see is there are some giant spiders that need to be dealt with. So none of them like super crazy.
Well, what do you guys want to do?
Maybe sleep it off and think about it the next day. See what we want to do.
Well, yeah. Just gonna point out, no risk, no reward. Usually,
Yeah.
the more hostile creatures is seemingly what's gonna pay better. I can look at the ulterior motives roundabout if we can take care of displacer beasts. I can tell you right now, oh boy, that's gonna be interesting if we took that one. Carrion crawlers, cloakers, giant spiders. It's pretty much all going to be like whatever we feel. It sounds like we got to scrounge and kill, clear out. Then there's the one that said needed experienced people, and that's all they left it up for. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be
Evil.
Yeah.
well questionable. I'm going to keep in mind where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah, considering what our first job together was like, maybe we stay away from those ambiguous requests for now.
I mean, if you're looking for suggestions, like we can start small. Let's go from there. We can go for the cloaker.
Yeah.
Okay. Cloaker it is.
All right.
So you guys go back and you find the specific listing for. You guys are level 7, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just making sure I know what I got here. So you guys go and it gives a location to meet your contact, which is in the outer ring. But they again, you've seen a bar, and as you were around, you see bars, you see restaurants, things like that. Basically, places for people to meet. And one of them in particular is mentioned in this note to go to this place to meet with the contact.
Does it state cloaker singular or plural?
It says cloakers.
Okay, so it's plural.
This is street or on the sheet. So the particular restaurant that is mentioned there is called the Nightcap. Specifically KNI Nightcap, and as you get close to it, again, it's effectively a bar with a kitchen behind it and a few tables in front of it, kind of built into a wall, effectively. And as you get close to it, you see a sign with an armored figure with just a very kind of poofy, crazy-looking hat on. You can see a few people running around, serving a few of the guests. The particular person you're looking for, the name you're giving is Yusuf Benign.
Yusuf Benign.
Mm-hmm. So what would you all like to do?
Ask for Yusuf Benign.
I was about to say, yell out Yusuf Benign.
Like
So
no.
to do that, you
Yell.
see
dang
as you do that, you see an older gentleman, completely shaved, bald, with a white goatee, darker skin, and he's kind of dabbing his forehead, and he goes, "I'm here. and kind of waves you over. Well, hello there. My name is Yusuf Banan, and seems you're here to take care of my problem.
Yep, we heard you have a problem.
A
See, I
cooker
have,
problem.
A storage cellar where I keep various wines, ales, and other things for my establishment. And unfortunately, well, things have gone awry, to say the least.
All right.
It's supposed to be a pretty sizable storage cellar for multiple cloacas.
Well, it's a pretty sizable establishment. Let's say I service multiple tiers.
Multiple tiers. Okay,
So-
well, what was the offer on the board? What would they say he was paying?
Well, offers are always negotiable, but I was thinking if you can deal with however many there are down there. Really, all I know is I
They're
send
there.
stock boys in and they don't come back out.
Huh.
I think
Okay.
400 gold pieces should be more than enough for it.
400? Smegwig? What's your experience with that? Is that worth it?
Oh, I
Should
don't got
negotiate?
experience with hunting cloakers.
No?
How about 400 gold and then to be determined if anything
Can you
else
help
pops
us-
up, occurs.
Help us go.
Negotiating on the
that's-
back end.
That's not how I do business. We agree to an accord, and
Well, I understand. What I'm saying is if it's more than cloakers is what I'm saying. We don't know what else is down there. The situation could entail. If we're going down there dealing with cloakers and we find out, oh, there was a...
I think for a simple extermination, 400 gold pieces is more than adequate for whatever.
So you're telling me your entire whiskey wine collection is unaccessible, so you are unable to make profits because you cannot go down there and get it.
What do you think? And he completely kind of turns away from Smegwick and just
Of course he
focuses
does.
on Crexney. Well, madam, what do you think would be a...
Well, my partner just said if there's anything other than that down there,
I do
But,
not renegotiate, but if you have a better offer, I'm willing to hear it now. See, I don't go to purchase something and then hope I know how much it's going to cost after I've agreed to purchase it. See, I always know what I'm buying and how much it costs before I
who
buy it.
do you have contact with on upper floors? Not one, maybe floor 2 or 3. Who do you know up there?
Oh, and you see him kind of lying back. So you're looking for something that's not quite monetary in rewards. Well, I have quite a few friends in high places. If is there somewhere specific you were hoping to go? I can tell you if I might be able to give you an introduction.
You guys want, can I like side conversation really quick and say, do you guys want jobs or do you want money? So we
I
can
mean,
go up.
ideally both. We can go for the 400 cloaca. And also with introductions.
Yes.
I think that's what we're building towards anyway.
Yep, that's what I'm building for. Okay, so how about we make a deal? We'll go and clear it out so that your establishment can make the money that you deserve for 400 and introductions on a 3rd level or higher.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, I got that. Let me see, where is that at? Persuasion. Advantage is 2 of them, right?
Yep, you roll 2d20s, take the
Better of the
higher
two.
roll.
20.
But natural or dirty?
It's a 19 plus 1, so
Okay.
20.
Hey, dirty 20.
All right. Says you sit there, you see him kind of grin. Miss, I don't think I caught your name.
Crexney.
Well, Miss Crexney, I do believe we have an accord.
All
And
right.
he reaches his hand out towards you, and he kind of turns it, kisses it.
Aw.
And I do believe, if things go well, this might be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
All right. I agree.
Well,
I look at Smegwig like, you better make this work.
You spoke up. This is
I'm
weird.
going to be leading you all to get this done within the next 48 hours. Is that doable for you?
Sounds good.
Absolutely. We can
Fantastic.
do
And
it.
he goes and he takes out a piece of paper which you recognize as a map, and he makes some notes on it. That is where my storehouse is. There is a rather large Goliath that you'll meet there. His name is Thud. Don't ask. I've tried. He says it's a family name.
Accepted.
Tell Thud you are there under my authority. Show him this, and he slides over just a piece of paper that has a wax seal on it. That he seems to have stamped his ring in. This will be all the proof he needs to know that you are working for me. And well, I look forward to hearing about your victory. Would you all like to join me in a drink? Celebrate this newfound partnership. It's on me.
Where are you getting the alcohol from?
Well, you guys are at a restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's stuck. Okay.
Well, this
I'm
isn't
in.
his restaurant. This is a restaurant.
I just
Oh,
look at the
gotcha.
two like complimentary is the best kind of
I'm
compliments.
in. Yes,
He goes,
please.
Miss, and he gets the waitress. If you could give us something slightly finer than what you've been serving me here. And she nods. She comes back, and
I'll mint julep.
uh,
I love those things.
they bring 4 flagons of something alcoholic that has a fruity smell to it.
Sangria.
Probably similar to a sangria or some kind of blend of fruit juices and wine. He goes, to your health. And he takes a drink and he's, well, I guess I did say slightly.
Yeah.
Devil's in the details, friend.
Cheers.
As you drink it. Hour, you're probably the only person that has too much of a problem with it because you're not quite used to
Yeah.
kind of raw spirits and fruit juice. The rest of
Yeah.
you guys, it burns as it goes down.
All depends how much trouble you get into in the academy.
Queen Mad.
But it's not poisonous or anything. I mean, there's enough fruit juice that it dilutes it away from, like...
Death.
You're relatively certain you have just drank diluted moonshine.
Oh, hey.
What was that bit? Toy Soldiers. It was mouthwash. It was vodka colored blue.
Effectively. But there was enough fruit juice and other things in there, simple syrup and other things, that it was relatively sweet, but it burnt and scratched on the way down.
Ugh.
Fun. My kind of drink.
Draconic, I tell Owie, makes the dragon's breath more potent when it comes back
There
up.
you go. See?
So, is there anything else you guys wanted to do while you're here? At this point, it's getting to about kind of midday. You can see the restaurant you are currently at is actually starting to kind of fill up as people are coming to get a midday meal.
Okay. Is everyone's health okay to fight? Or he says 48 hours. If it's midday, that means like we have, what, 12 hours before night?
Now, I'm thinking, depending on a Cloaca fight, we may want to do the Cloacas first and then rest. That way, because we always have the option of taking the fight on whenever we feel up to it. However, we have a window for the Cloacas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about the fight. I'm worried about your
Yeah.
health stats and your spells if we're fighting cloakers.
So for
Yeah, we have
right,
48 hours, so I figured if we do take like at least a long rest, we could definitely do that.
as
That's
of
what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
right now, it's like 1-ish in the afternoon. So you probably have a good 6-ish hours before you're gonna have to start dealing with nightfall.
Mm.
And from the map that you see, you're looking at probably about an hour to get to this place from where you currently are, and you're about an hour away from your ship, avoiding that one alley. So
Okay. So you guys
Yeah,
wanna-
I think it's best to have the whole team
Yeah.
ready to go before tackling this mission.
And maybe possibly consider gearing up and changing out spells, whatever we might need, and prepping for the job, so to speak.
Hmm.
It's 48 hours, so it won't. Okay.
As I say, we could we take the
Yeah.
rest, we get beefed up, we prepare,
Hmm.
we go do the job.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I don't think any of you have ever, maybe Smegwick, have ever dealt with a cloaker, but the rest of you guys have probably never done one. So if you wanted to try and ask around and get information about cloakers themselves, you could. Like you have the rest of the day.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll? We'll see what I know about cloakers.
Let's do it this way, because the only time you probably ever would have seen a cloaker would have been while you were in the Feywild.
Fair.
So let's just do this. Choose even or odd, and we'll see if you've ever seen a cloaker.
Okay.
Even.
Go ahead.
Nope, you have never encountered a cloaker.
Okay. D&D, we're not really playing. I just looked them up.
Oh yeah, they look
So-
nasty.
So in general, looking up monsters is generally referred to as metagaming, unless there's a reason your character would know that.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I mentioned if you wanted to take some time, effectively what that does is gives your character a reason that you would learn about the cloaker.
I
Which
just
is
looked
kinda-
what they look like.
Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
kind of creepy the things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask around because I need to know a little bit more because
Sure.
Right.
I get because you
that
guys
picture
are
is
in
crazy.
because you guys are in a situation right now
Mhm.
where you are surrounded by people that are professional monster slayers and killers. There are certain places just outside of the rabble rouser where you can go effectively to do research about creatures that you're going to have to deal with. I'll let this be a group intelligence history check.
Well, I was also going to ask. I didn't know if my sage background feature would accompany this in regards to
I
doing
believe
research.
with the sage, it specifically says you know where to find things, right? You either know knowledge, you know where to look it up. Is that what?
Yeah,
the
or
sage
if you do
background?
not, or if you do not know the information, you often know where and where to obtain it.
So I'm gonna just say that would give you. Yeah, to be blunt, then there's no real reason for you guys to roll. Well, no, I guess the roll will basically influence how long it takes you to find it, which I'll let Smegwick, you can roll with the advantage.
Right. Rolling which one?
Intelligence history, unless you have another something else that you think would work better.
Advantage history. Cool.
Everyone else
18.
can just do intelligence history. So you're 18.
Yep.
Crixie,
19.
19, and then Smegrick,
22.
22. All right, so between the three of you, it takes you barely an hour to go to the local. There's this very strange building that you are directed to. The building itself has the heads of creatures like all over it, mounted all over the outside of this building. The walls themselves are covered in various leathers made from different creatures. It is the most bizarre looking building you have ever seen because the walls will change from hardened leather to soft, supple leather to fur to scales, and they're almost random in their patches. as you go in, you are overwhelmed with the smell of old paper and leather. And you can just see stacks of books everywhere. And for everyone except Smegwig, the first thing you notice is, you don't think your knowledge of the Dewey Decimal System is going to help you here. Because it looks like books are just randomly piled in different places, and people will just pick up books and then put them down when they're done with them. There's very little organization as far as you can tell.
It's Ghostbusters
Smegwick.
Afterlife. There's all these stacked books.
Smegwick, on the other hand, from your background as a sage, you've kind of gotten used to the fact that there are certain libraries, specifically with your military experience, where people don't put things back the way they're supposed to every single time, especially when you're in a more dangerous place. So you kind of just look around and go, all right, and you just start going through book stacks, and you very quickly kind of figure out, okay, this is where the people tend to sit down when they're dealing with beasts. This is aberrations. This is... and you kind of just go through...
Volo. Where's Volo?
Volo, he's here somewhere. You eventually find a bunch of different books about aberrations, and you do eventually find a decent amount of knowledge about cloakers. Cloakers themselves are large aberrations that, when they are stationary, they literally look like a cloak. They're almost impossible to distinguish from a leather cloak until they start attacking.
I always think of them. They look like a manta ray made of wrong.
Kind of, yeah. They're when they actually start attacking, they actually look like creatures. When they're just sitting there, they literally just look like leather cloaks that are draped over other things. They're sensitive to light. In bright light, they actually have disadvantage on attack rolls and perception checks that rely on sight.
That explains why they'd be in a basement.
They probably look like tops laying around there. Wouldn't be surprised.
And you also know that their favorite thing to do is they wrap around their target and
suffocate
Blind them.
and once they have wrapped themselves around it to the target,
Constrict.
Any attempt to attack the cloaker is also going to hurt the target itself. And you also know they have a...
I got a feeling there's a hellish rebuke in my future.
They also have a moan that they can do. They communicate through these very loud moans, and the moans themselves have a little bit of a magical effect to them, where they can actually cause you to lose control of yourself for a moment and become incredibly frightened. And they also, somewhat similar to Displacer Beasts, also have the ability to create illusions that make them appear that they are in places that they are not, making them more difficult to hit.
Is that an active ability or is that a passive ability?
It is an active ability they have to activate.
Okay.
So that's what you find out in your research.
Okay.
I would also say you probably... well, is there anything else that you would have wanted specifically to look up about them that I haven't told you?
Well, we already understand their weaknesses, so there's already that. So bright light's definitely advantageous. If anyone has capability for bright light or making bright light, anything we can do about staving off the howling?
As far as you can tell, it's done mostly through willpower. The moans that they make have specifically kind of evolved to affect sentient creatures and terrify them. So
We can try.
things that can protect you against fear would help.
There's that, or just like we could try plugging our ears up with beeswax, but yeah.
Yeah,
So we can't hit
it is an audible thing. So
Yeah.
Do they use it like a radar? Can they hear it? Can they see us? without-
they have dark vision, so they can see in the dark really
But
really well.
if you use invisibility,
They wouldn't be able to physically see you.
They don't have blind sight.
Yeah, no, they have dark
Okay.
vision, not blind
okay,
sight.
okay.
So just to kind of explain the difference, dark vision into the D&D effectively means when there's no light, you
They
can
can see.
see, but everything is in black and white. You cannot tell any colors.
Okay.
Blind sight is you don't
Can see
actually
without
need
seeing.
to be able to see. You can just
Gotcha.
sense things in a certain
Okay.
distance.
Which, interesting enough, Spitwit has.
Where do you
Mm-hmm.
get blind sight from?
Spitwit. Cinder
Oh.
Dragon.
Oh,
For some reason, I thought you meant Smegwick, and I'm like,
No.
Smegwick doesn't have blind sight. What are you talking about? That's a fairy dragon thing. However, with it being a familiar, and you being able to see through its senses means technically Smegwick can steal the blind sight from.
If I spend an action looking through them, yeah.
We used to have a dude in the Adventurers League who was a wizard. He was a human wizard, and he had an owl familiar that he would just tape to his face, so he could have dark vision.
Like a familiar GoPro.
Yeah, it's all it was.
I have considered that, by the way. Like having him just like sit on top.
So overall,
The thing I find interesting is that aberrations showing up here. Why would an aberration show up
aberrations
as an infestation?
Aberrations are generally considered to be creatures that come from beneath the veil. Aberrations on their own have a lot of different origins. However, at least in the Sovereignty, most people kind of just consider them as creatures that come from beneath the veil. So aberrations are not outside the realm of reason to find here. They tend to be relatively rare.
Well, I'm more concerned of like how aberrations showed up in a place like this, in a warehouse
How did they get in
situation,
there?
like get attracted, find their way kind of situation, which will probably this is something to keep in the back of my head.
Get placed in there.
Did someone put them there?
Rival competition.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Possibilities. Okay, well, good thing to know if anyone has any means of making bright lights. We may have to. It's a good thing to know about the possibility of them scaring us, and also about the possibility of them making it very hard to hit.
Well, I know I have invisibility. I don't have anything light.
I don't
So
have
if someone-
any light makers either, unless I really concentrate my electricity, possibly make some light. And make a
would say-
draconic night light.
How he just keeps randomly shocking grasp the wall.
Yeah, light,
Oh, look,
light.
Um,
Light attack.
Things you would be familiar with, like a torch, creates
Yeah.
bright light in 30 feet and dim light for an additional 30 feet. A lantern would do a similar thing. So those are very
Those-
common.
I didn't know if
things.
anyone had the light cantrip.
I do not.
I do not.
I bet Reggie does.
I just checking.
Well, we can. If we are holding torches or lamps and we have to fight, does that affect us fighting?
Say again?
If we have to hold a lantern or a torch, does that affect our fighting movements?
I mean, it takes up one of your hands. So
Yeah, so
you wouldn't
would
be able to use a two-handed weapon if you had it. in
yeah,
your-
or a shield.
yeah.
Unless you have some way to hook it on.
Well, what's a way we can get light? What's another way that we can use light
Lantern
to help
torch.
us? if it's not a spell or.
If you have a means of crafting something, I don't know.
Can I craft something
Um,
like a flashlight or a big light that shines forward? I don't know what this world
I don't
consists
think
of.
with the spells that you have access to and the magic items that you have access to,
Mhm.
you wouldn't have anything that you could make. Like you don't have any spells that produce light,
Mhm.
To my knowledge. So if you were to try and create like a customized magic item or something like that, which is what artificers do,
Right.
you would still need access to a base spell that would give that effect before I would allow you to try and customize a magic item that
Gotcha.
could do it. And that would require you experimenting, and it would take time for you to design a brand new magic item. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yep. Makes sense. I don't personally know
All right.
outside of lanterns and all that. So
Well, if you guys want to head back to the ship and have a little powwow with
Yeah.
Reggie once he wakes up.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you all head back to the ship. And
Could I, as a moment, I was considering this. I'll actually pose this group. Do we want to get Thomas some plain clothes,
And
Fucking Thomas.
or do we feel better keeping him on the ship?
maybe we should finally let him go.
I voted to let him off the ship here, but somebody didn't want him to get
Well,
off
no.
because it's dangerous.
He still might not want to leave. This isn't exactly the best place for him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
On
I
his
think he
own,
said-
he's still
I think
being-
last time he said he didn't want to because
Yeah.
of the he just sat there. So probably because if they see him in military clothes, we're all out of
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah,
So I'm
that would
definitely
be
down.
bad.
Yeah, anyone
Yeah.
that wants to pick up some clothes, it's a gold piece to get
Yeah.
just some,
Let's just
some
get him a
basic traveler
potato sack.
clothes.
Just
If all you want to get him is a burlap sack, that'll cost you 5 copper pieces.
hey,
I'll
And a
give him
rope.
like whatever the
a
plain
burlap
clothes,
sack and some.
whatever some
Oh,
plain
you're
clothes are.
So nice.
So, all of you are able to return to the ship, and unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it
Dun, 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 dun.
tonight.
We-
As always, if you missed any of the episode, I do upload all of these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TraderJody. They show up on Sundays there. Otherwise, again, that is all for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.